most of the things that you are doing, including even your self-esteem, you feel like what you have is not enough. And that is the time that we also need a lot of affirmation. So when we transition now from the teenage life and we come into adulthood, we tend to still go back to that place whereby we never achieved. So we really want to achieve to the point that we need to fill such gaps. So if we have low self-esteem and if we have poor self-concept, we are more susceptible to peer pressure still. And we might choose even friends who reflect and reinforce our image, the image that we have, the image that is so vulnerable to our eyes and not to the eyes of other people. So that is how now as youths we might even end up into drugs, because you see what other people are doing, you also want to do it. You feel whatever you are doing, or this quote unquote cool guys are doing 1, 2, 3. So I'm not doing this. So which means I'm not a youth, you know. So we have such behaviors, and we tend to even follow people who dominate spaces, people who bully others, you know, just to make sure that we are protecting our laws, you know, and we want to feel good in that hiding. We want to feel good in that mask. So once we are in such kind of space, it's very easy. Actually, it's a free ticket to peer pressures and even going into substance abuses. So the other thing about how we can mitigate the peer pressure among the youths, circle of influence. There is a saying that goes, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. So out of 5 friends you have, you are the 6th. And when it comes to peer pressure, it's our own choices. Sometimes whatever the information I get on internet, or maybe advices from professionals or people talking about this, I feel like as youths, we have all the capacity to make our own decisions. We have all the capacity to choose who we want to hang around with. We have all the ability to make sure that we can make changes in the people we interact with. So having such options whereby you can choose whatever you want, then I feel also choosing peer pressure is up to the youths. We are the one who choose that. For example, in my life, I know if I'm interacting with people, I know where to put them. I don't just have them in my networks. I don't just have them, especially in my closet circle, because I know the power of interacting with people. I know what it means engaging with people on such levels. So, as we only do ourselves good if we are not creating those self-created peer pressure, you know, and we also come a lot into the comparison, you know, what am I doing in my life? And you see what other people are doing, you feel it's better than what you are doing. And that is just in your mind. In reality, even the people who you are trying to compare yourself to, they also have some limitations whereby they can look at what you are doing and they want to also emulate what you are doing. I'm not saying this is bad, but even peer pressure, it depends with the angle we are looking at. If we look at peer pressure in a way that it can benefit us, then you have to choose also how is it going to benefit you. For example, I see someone doing something that I like. So what I end up doing is to learn from this person so that I influence my action. That is positive. But something like substance abuse, if I see people are doing it and then I also do it, that means I'm just becoming self-destructive, and sabotaging myself can only lead me to nowhere, you know? So We also compete a lot among ourselves, especially as youths, and this pressure of, oh, I don't have a job. I don't know that this applies to other countries, but in Kenya, we have a lot of this. You find that I am in such kind of social standard, so I want to also do something that can prove I'm also in certain standard. It can be positive, but as long as that other things that are self-destructive are involved, then it might lean us more into the negative end. Uh, I would urge if youths can just identify their own innate capabilities. What can I do as a youth? Let's say I'm in my 25. What can I do at this age? What can't I do? What do I need to learn to improve? You know, where do I want to see myself in such and such years? So once we identify such abilities in ourselves, it's easy for us to even maintain the focus. It's easy for us to venture into our dreams. That can make us a bit busy so that we cannot think about areas of inadequacy. And also building on them, discovering more interests, strengths, potentials, talents. These are the things that took most of the people rather than even their dreams. So there is also something about our thoughts. You know, if you think you are less cool than your friends, your colleagues, people you work with, your families, then you are subconsciously even motivated to do whatever makes you look good in their eyes. That means you are living in the other people's, like, whatever you are doing is just manifestation of other people, what other people are supposed to be doing. Now you do it because you are emulating what they are doing, whether it is wrong or right. Let me take an example. Especially we have many listeners, we have guests. Think of yourself as someone who is shopping. Assume you are in a supermarket, and then when you are there, you are of course purchasing things. Now let me ask you: are you the kind of a person who buy something because it's written now on the notice that you buy one, you get one free, you buy this, or you be eligible for something else? You know, if you can do that, then you need to also assess what else have you been doing that is influenced. Are you doing something because something is there, or you're doing something because it comes from within, that is self-inspired? So that is now the influence of spending behavior. You buy because it has an offer. And most cases, you may not even have enough cash, or you are solving a problem known to you. And most cases, it just grows unconscious. Like you just do it because you are even used to it, and it doesn't matter whether it's a belief that you have or something you value. You end up doing it because you are used to it. You are used to the influence. So let me talk about the last thing, about how we can also mitigate the stressors. As youths, if there is one thing that we have, I've done a lot of studies about this, but there is something special so with youths that is not, you may not find that in, let's say, people around 50s or even above 40s. So I would advise, if we can consider this boundary setting. If, for example, I'm done with school and I have specific agendas that I want to fulfill. Let's say I want to run an initiative before I get into job market. So how am I reducing the space to make sure that I'm not pressured by the families, I'm not pressured by my friends who are in job space, I'm not pressured by my colleagues, the people I've studied with. So for you to have that, you need to set a boundary. What are you consuming in social media? What are you taking in? What are you absorbing when it comes to information? What are you receiving from other people, and how are you allowing that? So sometimes even these stresses we talk about, we say, oh, I'm stressed to the point you can even get into depression. Most of these, especially when it is mild and moderate, most of these are just in our heads. We can do something about it, and many things can be done for you to go about it. So boundary setting. Number two, there is this body, mind, and outside. When you tune in to two things, mind and the body, and then you deal with the external factors, the external situation, it becomes easier for you to solve the problem instead of putting your own self into the problem. So when we encounter some stressors, we should be in a position whereby we identify, okay, is this problem within me? If the answer is yes, then there is also another way you can go about it. Okay, now it's within me. What can I do about it? You shut the external pressure. When the problem is coming externally, you need to shut the external and focus on the mind and the body. That is, I remember Cynthia mentioned that you can do that through relaxation, meditation, those breathing exercise, to just make sure you are in the here and now. So I think with that, I can stop. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much, Daki Duba. Daki Duba joins us from Nairobi, Kenya, while Sengoba Yunusu joined us from Uganda, and Nena Cynthia Ume joins us from Nigeria here. I wish we can put our hands together for this beautiful young emerging experts. Thank you very much, all of you. That is... and most especially, would like to appreciate the organization that has brought you forward, that is Mental Health Fellowship. These young people are cohort 4 fellows of Mental Health Fellowship. Thank you very much. Before we proceed further, we have barely 30 minutes more, and we have the last segment of this conversation, our NACO quiz, where we'll be asking 3 questions, and people will be going away with some prizes and gifts at the end of the conversation today. First, we'd like to appreciate a very senior member of this platform, and that is Dr. Asiya Adamubu. Thank you very much, Dr. Asiya Adamubu. She joined, and I think she requested for the mic, and suddenly she disappeared. I think that must have been as a result of her network. Would also like to appreciate Dr. Kadesh. That's Kadesh of Mental Health. Thank you very much, Dr. Kadesh. Ibrahim Kuru, thank you, Ibrahim Kuru, joins us from the Northeast Nigeria. Mohammed Bafo, thank you. Euphemia, thank you. Soy Whisperer NG, thank you. Ibom Youth Voices for Positive Change, thank you. Ibom Youth Voices. Okay. Virginia Ezine Oguma. Virginia is absolutely the coordinator of these young fellows. Thank you very much, Ezine. We have Mr. Bala Zakaria Ismail Ishak. Thank you for being part of the conversation. We'd also have Ogbamudu Joy. Thank you. Yusuf Stevie. Kumaya Dede, that's at Uzo_Eze. Thank you, Dede. Abby, that's at Miss Abike B. All right. We'll also have Ogumele Alex. Thank you. Maria Elubuhi. Maria Elubuhi is a UNODC master trainer. Thank you, Madam Maria there. We'll also have Bashir Adamu. Thank you, Bashir Adamu. Abubakar Ibrahim, Ponjul, Delio. We also have Titi Layo Abiodun, Kokori Nasir, and okay, I think I've acknowledged Kadesh simply. Okay, we also have Emily, Gambo, Andrew, John Ogunjimi, Dongan Ogunjimi. It's a constant member of this platform. We also have Princess Eshimokai. Princess Eshimokai is a military man based in US, but on assignment in Asia. Thank you very much, Prince, for always finding that time in spite of the huge time difference. You always find time to be part of this conversation. Thank you, Aret. Thank you, Suleiman Koja. Also, thank you very much, Pascal Iwebu, Daniel Khalifa, Olua Shondas Atoga Rector. Thank you, Oga Rector there. Miss Olanrewaju, thank you for being part of our conversation. Mazi Ezeoke, Onyenjenje. I hope I got that, Mazi. Please forgive me if I didn't get that pronunciation right. Shibuzo Akwere, Shibuzo. That Shibuzo joins us from, is it Portugal? Somewhere in Europe. She was once a guest on this platform. Thank you very much, Mrs. Shibuzo. We also have Bello Ilesami. Thank you, Bello Ilesami. Because of our time, I like to pause it here now, and then we'll have some conversation before we get to an NACO quiz. There's somebody, okay, that's Kadesh. All right, let's pause it there. We'll continue to acknowledge as many people as we can as time permits. Okay, let's have the I have right here. Okay, I've also seen my Asma Ahmad joins us from Kaduna. Thank you, Asma. Okay, Deda.
Good morning. I joined late, and I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if I can speak on something that is not directly linked to the topic of the day. It still has to do with Ndlea, or is it? I don't know what's allowed on this platform. I don't want to just be too forward.
Is
That's
it
why
an
I'm asking.
information?
Yes, it's
Is it an information? Yeah, if it's an information, you come to our DM to give us the information in our DM. We don't like exposing people in the open, in the public like this. You can come to my DM or come to the agency's DM. Can you hear me, Deda? I guess, unfortunately, her network is frozen there. Okay. Pending when. Please, if you can hear me, just if you have an information, please come to our DM. We'll definitely take your information and treat with confidentiality there. Okay, that's that. Okay, I have this one quickly from Kunle. Kunle is asking. Okay, let me read quickly. I'd like to appreciate all your three guest speakers. Thank you very much. Young people with brilliant minds. I appreciate their presentation. I'd like to specifically ask the last speaker, that is Daki. She said something that is not very clear that I would like to seek a clarification from her. And that is, she said peer pressure can be beneficial. I need her to elaborate on this and what's the difference between this and role modeling or mentoring. Thank you very much once again. I enjoyed the presentation from the three guest speakers. Thank you very much. All right, thank you, Kunle. There, Daki, if you can hear me, please. Kunle would like to get an understanding, a proper understanding of what you said, how beneficial peer pressure can be as against the negative one, and if so, what's the difference between this and role modeling or mentoring? Please go ahead. Yeah, you are muted. The hand of
the question. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Please go ahead.
Okay. The difference between peer pressure and role modeling. First of all, we need to understand the peer pressure, when it is on the positive end, it is more of something that is building you. And when it is towards the negative, it's more of self-destruction, more of sabotaging even your ability. When it comes to role modeling, this has to be like that specific person that you look up to. And the person you are looking up to has something that is you also have, or something that you also wish to achieve. So you tend to emulate this person so that you can reach where they are. So on the other end, when the pressure comes in, it tends to put you off the balance. It tends to put your focus on a different side. So role modeling, more like emulating someone that you look up to, someone.
There is where is that coming from?
Okay, it's gone.
Okay.
Okay, please go ahead now.
So I'm concluding by saying that role modeling, you are emulating someone who is doing what you also wish to do, or who is doing what you wish to achieve at the end of the day. But when the pressure comes in, it might take you off the balance. So peer pressure is more of also the people who are your age range. And the role modeling, this could be someone who is even in their 50s, someone who is in their 40s, even if you are 18 or 20. So that's the difference. Are you answered?
All right, thank you very much there. Daki, I believe that should satisfy Kunle there. And I also encourage Kunle. This conversation is recorded. You can always go back to it on our social media handles for better understanding. Indeed, Daki spoke extensively well in that regard in the course of our presentation. I'm sure if you try to take a listen to it again, you have a better understanding. And she had also broken it down further in response to your question. All right, let's quickly take this one from Ibrahim. Ibrahim is directing this one. Yes, she acknowledged the presentations and thanked the three presenters, and then fire this one straight at Nena. He's asking Nena, we know alcohol and cigarettes are socially acceptable in Nigeria, unlike other drugs like cannabis and the opioids. Now, I will appreciate if you, who is from the same country as mine, can tell us how will the how did you, as a youth in your university days, escape the pressure of these twin, what I'll call twin evils, that is alcohol and cigarettes, which indeed we have also learned are gateway drugs, and how would you respond to prayer from friends to try these things, whether in parties or in school? All right, thank you very much, Ibrahim. We're inviting Nena to unmute herself and respond to you quickly now. Yes, Nena, if you can hear me, please unmute yourself. Please go ahead.
Yeah, okay. If I'm to get the question right, for me, I've always had this thing. Okay, apart from saying, my background, where I'm coming from, and all, I can't really use that because everybody's from a different background. But what I would definitely use is yourself. There is this thing. I know that these days, when the generation where people will be like, "Oh, I love me, I love me," it's a real thing. I think then in school, I always try to tell myself that, "Oh, if I do this, what is the impact on my body? If I do this, what is the impact on me?" So yes, I'm in the midst of friends. They are doing this, they are doing that. I will ask myself, what will this impact? Will it actually help me positively or negatively. I think that's where the whole, even with the question the other person asked, role model and pressure and all. And I also put myself in a situation where I had friends that are not really all that, they're not into like drugs or drinking and all. I just feel like, one, you have to love yourself enough to know that we all know that alcohol is not good. We know, I know that local doctor will be telling us every day, but people will be like, oh, doctor, leave us today. Is the truth. It is not good. And one thing I will always tell people is, if you know that in the long run, something, this particular path you are trying to take now would not benefit you in any way, I honestly and I totally believe that you should not even take it in the first place. I know sometimes back to like pressure from like university or even friend groups and all, there is this thing that they call setting boundaries. There is this thing that they call walking away. People need to start practicing it, because most and majority of the time that people find themselves in situations where they can't handle is because at one point they decided that they will not walk away. At one point they decided that they will not set boundaries. I've heard people even come online and say, "Oh, I'm in a friend group where they respect me. When they are drinking, they don't even call me." That is the person setting their boundary, and I feel like it's the same in university. During my university day, there were like my friends, like, because I have different like ranges of friends. There were friends that when it's time to like go out do party and all, they will never call me, because they know that even if I go, I will not follow them and do anything. They will call me a boring person. They will call me this and that, and I will agree, because I've told myself. I think one thing is also a place where you've told yourself that for my sanity, for my own good, I will not go back. I will not go down this path and all. And also, I always recommend surrounding yourself with supportive system, like system that does not really pressure you, like I said, that does not really pressure you into doing something that is against your belief, your religion. And that's like the number one thing. Once you notice that something is not really in line with what you want, or let's say for example you're already like doing it and all, and you want to stop, also surround yourself with people that will support you to stop. Because you cannot tell me that you want to stop going to party and every day you're around people that are always going to party. You cannot tell me that you want to stop drinking, want to stop, like you said, in Nigeria it's acceptable, like it's something that everybody, most people are doing, not everybody, sorry. So connect yourself with people that will always remind you why you did never want to do it in the first place. So your support system should be good, in schools, wherever you are, whether it's in your office, whether it's anything you are doing. Always have support system that would help you to come out of it, not to put you deep into it. And lastly, love yourself enough. Like I cannot emphasize that enough, because I always say, if you love yourself, there's some things you will not put yourself inside to begin with. So learn to like love yourself, learn your triggers, know what, if you do now or if somebody do to you, can trigger you to go and start doing. Because some people, if they are sad, they can just go and start doing. Because some people, if something happened or maybe somebody died in the family, grief and all those emotional situations, it can trigger them to move to substance. So once you know that you're that kind of person, what is your coping mechanism? Are your support system in place that can help you overcome those kind of things? So love yourself, have a good support system, and I hope you'll be fine. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much, Nina. Let's quickly take the next one. Okay, before I read the next question, let me quickly acknowledge some more people. Awunat Awatai, thank you, Awunat, for being part of the conversation today. Okay, thank you, Foley. Thank you, Gold at Golden Oins. Olamide, thank you. Adamawa Wongi Tari Predo. Please forgive me if I didn't call that correctly. All right, thank you. Let's proceed because our time is running fast. Let's quickly take this one from Comfort. Comfort is asking, this is going to Yunusu. Yunusu. Okay, Yunusu spoke on coping mechanisms. I'd like to I would like to ask Yunus or any of the three presenters if long sleeping habits help in managing stress and avoiding or preventing getting into substance use, if that can also be taken as a healthy coping mechanism. All right, thank you. Yunusu, I believe you had that. That's coming from Comfort, please.
I,
Go ahead.
I kindly seek for your pardon. Longer sleeping, what?
Long sleeping habits. That is taking sleeping as a coping mechanism in managing stress and prevention of substance use.
Okay, thank you very much. Having time to sleep is very important for our mental health well-being, because it relaxes the mind, it restores your energy, you get refreshed. It is very important. Yes, it's one way that can relieve stress. However, excessive sleeping is very is harmful for our mental health well-being. One, excessive sleeping might be an indicator of the different mental challenges and unresolved problems you are going through. For example, could be the depressions or the substance use, as you said. So it is very important to have enough rest, but avoid engaging into excessive sleeping. Other than that, we can address substance use as we use that time seeking for other strategies of how to deal with now these situations that are maybe tying you into every time sleeping. Whenever they come, you just sleep, and excessively. So realize that when going to excessive sleep, then you are unable even to participate or involve yourself in the activities or other things that will help you to deal with these struggles. Otherwise, sleeping, having enough sleep is very important. Taking a rest is very important, but excessive sleeping, it is harmful to our well-being. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much there. I believe Comfort you got that from Yunusu. Okay, let's quickly take Gold. What's your intervention, contribution, or question? Please go ahead. Mute yourself and go ahead.
Hi, I'm somebody who's undergone pretty bad treatment from people in the past, including mental abuse from somebody who I thought loved me. Like one of my past lovers. I'm no longer with him, by the way. So like I already got away from him, but the memory still kind of persists, and I suffer with PTSD till this day from that. I guess I'm just wondering, how does somebody with PTSD and really bad anxiety and depression and stuff kind of navigate the world these days? Because the world's getting more crazier and crazier, especially online. I feel like I can't even be around any positive people anymore. Everybody I try to find, or every person I try to find who I hope is positive, just ends up being just terrible and just like terrible, triggering, evil. I don't really know what you want to call it, but I feel like the world's getting worse and worse. And people who have these triggers, I don't know how we're going to keep navigating that when more and more stuff keeps going crazy, I guess. Sorry.
All right, thank you very much there, Gold. Okay, I believe this should be open to. Let's quickly make this a very fast one. Okay, is Nena still there? Okay, let's have contributions from all our guest speakers. I believe you had Gold.
Yeah.
Obviously, Gold. Okay, please go ahead.
I start, I would just like to say, good. I'm so sorry you went through all that. I don't think any human as like would. It's nice for any woman to go through any kind of feeling like that. The first thing I would say is, one, I am not a therapist or anything, but I would recommend you go to therapy, because there are psychologists who are specialized in cases like this. There's like a tailored treatment that help you undergo
I'm already in therapy,
recovery.
and I have a psychologist, but my psychologist just hands me antidepressants, and I don't think antidepressants are the answer, honestly.
Wow. Okay, so I would recommend um you like try to like avoid things that trigger you. First of all, maybe know things that triggers you, and also like take note of that and try to like avoid them. And if your therapy it's not going, because honestly as a person I cannot recommend anything to you, especially when it comes to like medication that can help you. It's only a therapy that can do that. I think there's other therapeutical organizations, like I think the Sunshine series, I think they have expert psychologists that have helped people through phases, especially when it comes to like relationships and all. But know your triggers. I think what I can say is know your triggers and try to avoid them, and also like maybe do some kind of self healing, so that
Meditation.
maybe
I
it
use meditation.
feeling.
Sorry for interrupting. Just trying to think of what I was gonna say. I also isolate myself more these days because, like, I don't really trust people anymore. Like, I don't like being around people as much as I used to, which is funny because I'm an extrovert. But I keep telling myself, you can't isolate yourself forever. It's not healthy. But every time I try to find positive people, they're just not positive. I'm running out of people who are positive.
Okay, go
Um,
also.
All right.
That's it.
Oh, okay. Okay, Nena, you want to?
That's it.
Okay, Virginia.
That's it. You're on.
Okay,
uh,
Daki, go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know who was asking the question. I'm on another call, but I can only imagine how you are feeling and how all this is on you. And on the part of social media, please, I would advise if you can take a break from it at the moment. And then on your question, I'd love to explore deeper, and I would highly recommend uh, if you can also check into other options or other therapists who can walk you through this journey without being into medication. And also going back, I think it's best if you can contact the host so that you can be directed to someone who can support you privately. I'm so sorry that you're feeling that, and I'm sure you can get help.
I just think that a lot of
All
understanding.
right, thank you. I actually believe Gold is speaking from the US. I believe Gold, you are in the US, right, or Canada?
US, yeah.
Okay, US, yeah. Okay, let's take somebody. Kadesh, please, Dr. Kadesh, please go ahead quickly. You are raising your hands.
All right. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. That was a very touching story there, Gold, and I really hope you find all the help you need. But I want to digress a bit from what I don't know if it was Nena that talked about you staying away from social media. You said you've been socially isolating a bit lately, and staying away from social media also might not, help so much because you are isolating yourself from people physically and isolating yourself from people online as well. Might lead to a feeling of loneliness, and that might contribute more to your issue instead of helping out. But I think since you have identified that medication is not helping currently, I think behavioral therapy is will be highly recommended at this moment, and support group might do you a lot of good at this moment. There are a lot of people who are going through the similar situations as you right now, and meeting up with like minds, people who actually need positivity around them just as much as you do at this moment might be the kind of environments that you would really love to have. So I think changing your psychologist or your therapist might be the next best solution for you right now. So they can recommend support groups where you can easily blend in and meet with like minds and be able to share and be comfortable so that you go through that healing journey together with people who have similar situations as you. I hope I was able to communicate to an extent.
It's really funny, except that's kind of what I've just been getting told this entire time. I wasn't really sure about it, what I would think of support groups, but my therapist has mentioned it before, and I kind of want to make a new appointment with her. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new appointment with her, and I think I'm going to tell her, I'm like, you know what, sign me up for the support group. Like, I've never been to one. I don't know how it's going to go, but if they're loving and friendly, then great, because I need that like really bad.
Okay, I really think that's the best
All right.
for you. So I hope you get the best help you need. So
Thank you.
All
also,
right. Thank you very.
yeah.
Okay.
Also,
Quickly round up, Kadesh. Where
okay,
time is
I
against
was
us.
hoping I
Go
would be
ahead.
able to share a poem here about drug abuse if time would permit.
Maybe not today again. You may
All right,
have to do. We may give you time next week
all right,
because we have to go to our quiz. Our narco quiz now quickly. We
all
are
right, no problem,
5
sir.
minutes behind schedule. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Dr.
Thank you.
Kadesh. Would love to give you a space next week to share your poem. All right. Would like to appreciate all our guest speakers. I'm talking of Funena Ume, Dakiduba, and Zeguba Yunusu. Thank you very much, all Mental Health Fellowship Cohort 4 fellows. We appreciate all of you guys quickly. But before we all round up and take our leave for today, let's quickly come to our NACO quiz. And we have 3 questions. We'll be asking them one after the other. The first question, the first response that will be dropped on our timeline, the first correct response that will be dropped on our timeline will be taken as the winner of that particular question. Then we'll take the next one and the third one, and definitely would ask the winners. We'll announce the winners at the end, and then we'll ask them to contact us via our DM, and then would find a way to send their prizes to them. The 3 people you marked last week, and I'm sure they can confirm that they got our messages. And for those in Abuja, apart from the data and credit bonus we do give out, we'd also like to give some other items for those in Abuja, those that can come into our office. We'll definitely give you some more. Please let's note that. Okay, the first question for today in our NACO quiz segment is one, what is the umbrella term for interventions such as HIV testing, needle and syringe program, and medication-assisted treatment aimed at reducing effects of behavioral disorders such as drug abuse? What is that umbrella term for interventions such as HIV testing, needle and syringe program, as well as medication-assisted treatment, all aimed at reducing effects of behavioral disorders such as drug abuse? What is that what is the umbrella term for that for those interventions called? Anyone with the correct answer, please quickly drop that on our timeline, and then if you are the first to drop the correct answer, we would be announcing you at the end of the program, and we'll be asking you to link up to get your prize. Okay, let me ask my colleagues, do we have a winner emerge and that yet? Let's quickly, please, for anybody who is going to be answering that, please let's drop our response. Okay, not yet. Okay, we'll go to the second question. Would be announcing all at the same time, obviously. Then the second question is, what's the world's primary source of fentanyl and fentanyl-related substances? From which country, which location is the primary source of fentanyl and fentanyl-related substances? Where is the primary source in the world? Where do we have this coming from in the world? Where is the primary source, like the source country of fentanyl and fentanyl-related substances coming from the world? Okay, let's give some seconds to see if anybody can drop that quickly on our timeline, and then before we go to the third one. We'll definitely be announcing or disclosing the correct answers at the end of the program, just to avoid us leading in or blocking the chance of somebody getting that. That's why we quiet for now, but definitely we'll announce, we'll give the answers at the end of the whole thing. Okay, if let's go to the third question, and the third question is what class? Okay, I think I got some. Let me see. Two replies. That's from where now? Okay. Okay, I think who is the first winner here? Is it Frank? Yes, that's Frank at Shidi Decipher. Is it Frank? Huh? Frank is okay. Was I think there's somebody I can't see that. Oh, case man. Oh, okay. Shibuzo. Okay. I think okay. The okay. We have two responses, and then for that is for question one. Question one is actually the answer there. That's what's the umbrella term for interventions such as HIV testing, needle and syringe program, and medication-assisted treatment aimed at reducing effects of behavioral disorders such as drug abuse. The answer to that is harm reduction strategy, and the first person to drop the correct answer there is Frank. Okay, that's Frank at Shidi Desifa, right? Okay, that Frank, please come into our DM. You have your win there. You have your prize. And then the second question, we have some response. Okay, the second question. Okay, who now? I think. Shibuzo Akwere, that's the second question, is what's the world's primary source of fentanyl and fentanyl-related substances? That's China, correct? Shibuzo Akwere is a winner of that. The primary source is China. And then the last question is what class of drug increases blood pressure and heart rate? Examples of such drugs, if you can give one or two examples of such drugs, that is what class of drug increases blood pressure and heart rate? You know, we have different classes of drugs. You have depressants, you have stimulants, you have hallucinogen, you know, all of those stuff. So, and if you also can try further by giving examples of such drugs, one or two examples of those drugs, that would be beautiful. We have just one more winner to close for the day. We are almost at the hour of 5 o'clock, on the hour of 5 o'clock. So let's wait for one more person who would give us the correct answer to the third question. That is, what class of drug increases blood pressure and heart rate? Like I've given you a clue, there are classes of drugs like depressants, hallucinogen, stimulant, and what have you. So which of these? And then you must try to give us an example, one or two examples of such drugs. All right, quickly before we wrap up, like I've told the two winners, that is Frank and Adia Lady Shibuzo Aguirre, to who won the first and the second question respectively. Now let's wait for the third person before we close the show. If we have one more, let's my team notify me if we have. Okay, I think we have some winners. Imagine there. Okay, oh, there was one winner anyway. Okay, who is that? Who is the first person? Could this be still Dede? No. Third question, cocaine. Okay, and okay, obviously Mohammed Bafo also said cocaine. Yes, they got the examples, but they didn't get. Okay, I have one more response, right? Okay, let's see. Oh wow. Okay. Okay, thank you, Doctor. Okay, we have responses from Dr. Kadesh, from Frank, from Dede, from Shibuzo, but the correct answer there is stimulants, and Dr. Kadesh got it, and he also gave two examples of such drugs. All right, so we have winners for the three questions. The first winner for the first question is Frank. The second winner for the second question is Mrs. Shibuzo Akwere. And the third winner for the third question is Dr. Kadesh of Mental Health. Thank you very much, everyone. Especially would like to appreciate our partner on this show today, and that is Mental Health Fellowship, as well as their three cohort 4 fellows, that is Nena, Cynthia Ume, who joins us from Nigeria here, as well as Daki Duba, who joins us from Nairobi, Kenya, and Zegoba Yunusu, who joined us from Uganda. Again, we'd like to appreciate all of those that have spoken, all of those that have contributed. Gold, Dr. Kadesh, and who is that? Okay. All of our people would also appreciate all our compatriots, especially senior members of this platform, Dr. Asiya Adamobi, John Ogunjimi, Mazi. Thank you very much, all of you. We appreciate your time with us on this space today. Please, excuse me, let's keep it a date next Friday. Let's make it another time to come together to discuss, to have this same conversation, even though the topic may be different, but then definitely related is still on the same issue of substance abuse and how to curb the scourge. We'll be right back next Friday, 3 p.m. local time, and we expect to have you join us there. Don't also forget that in the last 15 minutes of the program, every week like this, we would be holding or having this NACO quiz just to test our knowledge, our understanding, and also